Welcome back in. This segment brought to you by Stern AG. Founded in 1901, Stern AG is one of the few privately owned brokerage firms left in the United States. They have survived wave after wave after wave of consolidation by faithfully serving their clients in ways that other firms can't or won't. Call Stern AG to discuss your financial future this week. Stern AG right here in Knoxville. All right, back with Jimmy, Bob, David. Lightning round. Well, before we get to that, let's show you the Mr. SEC scoreboard real quick. We're supposed to have two. We only have one. You see, Custer 7th Cavalry whipped by, I stole that joke from someone. All right. Alabama over Texas A&M, Arkansas over Southern Miss, Kentucky loses to Louisville. We don't have the second full screen up there, but the scores were, in case you missed them, Auburn beat Mississippi State 24-20. LSU whipped Kent State 45-13. South Carolina over Vandy 35-25. Ole Miss and Hugh Freeze over Texas 44-23. Say goodbye to Mac Brown. All right. Lightning round. I'm going to start with David Ligon over here. Butch Jones' motivational skills are going to be put to the test now. Will this team, in your opinion, revert to its old throw-in-the-towel ways of the Dooley era, or, to steal a quote from Outlaw Josie Wales that Bob will appreciate, will they endeavor to persevere?
I think Butch Jones will get him motivated. I think there may be a little bit of that reverting back to the Dooley ways. I don't think he's going to allow that. I think he will get these guys ready to go.
Okay. He thinks they will be ready to roll. Bob Hodge, you are next. Yesterday, Alabama allowed 42 points and 628 yards of their own to Texas A&M. The question, is Johnny Manziel that good, or is Alabama's defense not as good as it was in 2012?
I'm going to say that Alabama's defense isn't as good as it was in 2012, and we were over there talking about Oregon if they were playing Alabama or somebody like that in the SEC. Oregon has a lot more weapons than Texas A&M. Texas A&M has one great one and then some good ones. I think Oregon has a lot all across the board. So I'm going to say that that was Alabama's defense just isn't quite what it used to be.
Let me quickly ask everybody here just what your take on Alabama if they played Oregon. You think they'd win?
I think the physical nature of what Alabama's going to bring is going to disrupt what Oregon's doing. I think from what we saw, we weren't a very physical football team against Oregon. I thought that's what would give us a chance to win. That's what I'm most disappointed about, and I think Alabama would bring that to the table.
It would be interesting to see what Oregon,
we may get
if they could run on Alabama.
Yeah. What do you think, Alabama, Oregon, very quickly? Do you think that Alabama would not have their way with them?
I think it'd be 35-30. I think it'd be a high-scoring game because I think Oregon would score and move the football on Alabama.
I'm not so sure your best team in the SEC right now is in LSU. Even though their defense is young, they have the best-looking defense so far. We'll see when they start playing better offenses. Jimmy, you get the last one.
Thank you.
Where are all the folks who got so upset with the mean media for picking on poor Tyler Bray? We were mean about the throat slash gesture, which was nothing. We brought up the bottle throwing, which was nothing. The hot dogging on the jet skis, which was nothing. We were just picking on him. Where are all those folks? I haven't heard them this week. Have you?
I'd add the retaliation after the beer throwing incident, too, with the vehicle that was vandalized. Maybe they're in Kansas City. I don't know. but it's, somebody told me Tyler Bray's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
And then with the situation of taking money with an agent, actually being ineligible last year, he said during that Gruden camp situation that he felt like at Tennessee he was above the law.
Yeah.
I think he was.
Yeah,
I think there were issues that occurred that were not dealt with properly, and I think he was enabled by his head coach.
And he also made a quote, as we pointed out on MrSEC.com this week, went back, stumbled across it last year. He made the quote, well, I get paid to win ball games. Well, my education, that's what I mean. Yeah, okay. The majority of fans out there, didn't like the kid. They thought he was a punk too, but there were some that just don't want to hear it. They never want to hear it. And the lesson is, if it walks like a punk and it talks like a punk, it's a punk, even if it's in your school colors. And what's ironic is the people who defended him and said we were just being mean for pointing out clues as to this kid's behavior, those folks are the ones that ultimately got punked by Tyler Bray, who hasn't apologized, who's in Kansas City enjoying life, while Tennessee's going to have to sweat another NCAA visit. Even if it turns out to be nothing, Bray's left you with something else. He and Kiffin are going to go down as the dynamic duo of dunces in the history of Tennessee football. All right, was that strong enough? We'll see these guys next week. Punk, I tell you. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Vince, Chuck, Bobby, and yes, Sterling in the pulpit. Will he really come up with a way for Tennessee to beat Florida? Come on back and find out.